Wait, no politician has been treated worse. Abraham Lincoln was shot by an actor. William McKinley was shot by an anarchist. JFK was, of course, murdered by Ted Cruz's father. Miss USA, for instance, is owned by Donald Trump, a clown made of mummified foreskin and cotton candy.
How do you even come up with a roast that savage? John Oliver famously called Donald Trump a clown made of mummified foreskin and cotton candy. Oliver's depictions of Trump and his burns are a superb form of poetry, each one a miniature masterpiece skillfully designed to capture the insanity of Trump's life in its entirety. John Oliver's brutal critiques of Donald Trump have become legendary, leaving both the former president fuming and spectators in stitches. Oliver's incisive humor and vicious ridicule have taken aim at everything from Trump's appearance to his meaningless digressions. Oliver's comparison of Trump to a clown made of mummified foreskin and cotton candy is hard to forget. What a powerful image that is difficult to ignore. Oliver's sardonic wit hasn't been limited to Trump's appearance, though. Oliver's response to Trump's joke that he shared the most with his daughter Ivanka was sex is telling. You managed to give the only possible wrong answer to that question. It's not just a colossal creep that says that, it's a dumbass creep. The comedian has also focused on some of Trump's most embarrassing moments. Not to be forgotten is Oliver's magnificent takedown of Trump's never-ending complaining about unjust treatment. Oliver was quick to call BS on Trump's assertion that no politician in history has been treated worse or more unfairly, citing a number of historical figures like JFK and Abraham Lincoln who actually experienced hardship, his caustic denouement. But yeah, Alec Baldwin sometimes does a mean impression of you on TV, so yeah, it's basically the same, isn't it? Burning. Oliver has an unmatched talent for pointing out the complete gibberish that comes out of Trump's mouth. He mimicked Trump's word salad by typing a message on an iPhone using only predictive text, demonstrating that it made about as much sense as the real thing. Another example was when he likened Trump's incoherent speech about the Iran nuclear deal to a drunk driver crashing a pickup truck full of alphabet soup. However, Oliver's mockeries are more than just a cheap joke.
Thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
When you strip away his blindly confident, entertaining delivery and just read his words, it is staggering how incoherent he is.
Frequently, they draw attention to the gravely flawed facets of Trump's persona and administration. For example, when he mocked Trump's casual dismissal of factual inaccuracy, mocking his justification of getting millions and millions of people, as if that somehow made it okay to tweet false statistics, or when he called out Trump's racist remarks about a judge of Mexican heritage asking, "Where are you from? Because you look like you came out of a clogged drain at the Wonka factory." Oliver's assessment of Trump's shortcomings as a leader and a person was perhaps one of his most devastating criticisms. Trump just reveals what we've essentially always known. He's not just a shitty president and a shitty person, he's a shitty dad. Whoa. However, as Oliver has demonstrated time and time again, sometimes the truth hurts, and it's usually more funnier that way. John Oliver has never held back when criticizing Donald Trump's most dubious acts, from rambling speeches to divisive policy choices. Oliver is unreserved in his criticism of Trump's word salad remarks. A particularly inane Trump speech against the Iran nuclear deal was reportedly compared by him to a drunk driver crashing a pickup truck full of alphabet soup. Ouch. Not to be forgotten is Oliver's suggestion that the predictive text on an iPhone might compose a speech that was more comprehensible than that of the outgoing president. Burn. Oliver loves to criticize Trump's meandering rhetoric, but that's not all. Additionally, he has criticized Trump for his divisive remarks toward Judge Gonzalo Curiel, who was in charge of the Trump University lawsuit. Curiel was born in Indiana, but Trump insisted that because of his Mexican ancestry, the judge was not fair. Oliver's answer? Savagely, he claimed that Trump appeared as though he came out of a clogged drain at the Wonka factory. Oliver has also criticized Trump for his inclination to spread unsubstantiated figures without doing any research. Similar to when Trump tweeted that the percentage of whites killed by blacks was an astounding 81%, the actual figure just 15%. Oliver made fun of Trump's defense that he learned his information from radio shows, drawing a comparison between it and wondering if the sandwich you found in a hole is really that good.
And I say this with great surety, has been treated worse or more unfairly.
That is not a functional use of language. That is a drunk driver crashing a pickup truck full of alphabet soup. Trump's actual speech patterns sound like when you write a long text by choosing only the predictive text your iPhone suggests for you.
Who hasn't, after all, obtained their information from a dubious sandwich shop? Oliver's incisive humor does not spare even Trump's personal anecdotes. Trump said to his daughter Ivanka that a homeless person at the time had 8 billion more than me when he recalled his extreme debt era in the 1990s. Oliver's opinion, this demonstrated that even at his lowest, Trump was capable of being kind of a dick to a homeless guy. Oliver has, however, addressed Trump's foreign policy choices, possibly most gravely, especially his handling of the Syrian tragedy. Oliver deemed Trump's comparison of the situation to two children fighting in a lot to be both erroneous and strange. Oliver made the point that this kind of comparison trivializes the difficulties and human costs of war. It serves as a sobering reminder that, despite the humor, Trump's actions have real-world repercussions. Through it all, Oliver's distinct style of combining wit and incisive criticism has helped his audience understand difficult subjects. Through a sarcastic analysis of Trump's acts and policies, he has assisted viewers in understanding the frequently perplexing realm of politics. Oliver, though, doesn't just make random shots at Trump. He's created some fairly tremendous running gags throughout the years that have turned into show staples. After roasting Donald Trump numerous times, John Oliver has amassed a ream of recurring jokes that never fail to make the crowd laugh. His criticisms of Trump's frequently rambling and nonsensical speech styles are among the most noteworthy. It was painful to hear Oliver compare Trump's remarks about the Iran nuclear deal to watching a drunk driver crashing a pickup truck full of alphabet soup. That must have left an impression on the Donald's eminently thin skin. Oliver, though, makes fun of Trump's tendency toward wordiness as well. He also enjoys pointing out how the former president has a penchant for saying extremely improper things. Oliver reacted, for example, when Trump was asked what he liked most about Ivanka, and he said, either real estate or golf sex. I don't know why, but he called Trump a colossal creep. What an unpleasant moment between a father and a daughter. Oliver also loves to point the finger at Trump's tendency to act the victim. As Trump complained that never before has a politician been treated worse or more unfairly, Oliver threw off a litany of presidents who had really been slain with great relish. Well, Donnie, I guess those SNL skits about you aren't quite as harsh in contrast. Oliver has a hilarious knack for twisting Trump's own statements to his detriment. Naturally, a Trump roast would not be complete without making fun of the Donald's, shall we say, distinctive appearance. Oliver remarked about Trump's enigmatic orange skin, comparing it to a clogged drain at the Wonka factory, a memorable comparison.
You're invoking his race when talking about whether or not he can do his job.
Jake, I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I'm trying to keep business out of Mexico. Mexico's fine. There's nothing...
But he's American. He's an American.
Wait, where exactly are you from? Because you look like you came out of a clogged drain at the Wonka factory, and you know what? That's great. I think that's fine.
Long after the laughing subsides, the vivid picture these vivid descriptions create remains in your thoughts. Oliver's constant assaults on Trump may have the most devastating repeating theme, exposing the former president's failings as a father. Using direct quotes from Trump, such as the moment he told Ivanka that a homeless man had 8 billion more than me, Oliver paints a picture of a man who is too self-absorbed to provide his children with the emotional support they need. Oliver's characteristic combination of wit and ruthless honesty is used to deliver this insightful comment. Throughout it all, Oliver's goofy voices, inflated impressions, and disbelieving responses to Trump's antics have grown to be cherished elements of his performance. Every week, viewers look forward to seeing what new absurdities Oliver will pull off as he verbally abuses the Donald. Oliver solidifies his position as one of Trump's most formidable comedy opponents with each well-written zinger. However, it's not all fun and games. Even some of John Oliver's cruelest jokes have a powerful punch. So grab a seat, because we're about to list down the greatest jokes about Trump ever made. Oliver at his most witty and smart. You won't want to miss it. Some of the funniest and most memorable criticisms of Donald Trump have come from John Oliver's incisive wit and cutting satire. That time he likened Trump to a clown made of mummified foreskin and cotton candy is hard to forget. That striking image captured Trump's strange and frightening demeanor accurately. Then there was the occasion when Oliver made fun of Trump for making a spooky remark about sharing sex with his daughter Ivanka. Oliver didn't hold hold back when he referred to Trump as a colossal creep who had discovered the only possible wrong answer to a straightforward query. Oliver's ability to draw attention to the ridiculousness of Trump's actions was on full display in this moment, which was astounding. Oliver's mocking of Trump's assertion that no politician in history has been treated worse than him was possibly one of his most memorable jabs. Oliver quipped, "Alec Baldwin sometimes does a mean impression of you on TV, so yeah, it's basically the same, isn't it?" In a brilliant contrast between Trump's whining and the assassinations of previous presidents. Oliver's deadpan delivery and biting sarcasm perfectly skewered Trump's narcissism and lack of perspective. Oliver has mastered the art of using Trump's own statements against him. The picture of Trump's word salad spilling across the screen was comedic gold, especially when he read aloud from one of his rambling speeches about the Iran nuclear deal, comparing it to a drunk driver crashing a pickup truck full of alphabet soup. And who could overlook Oliver's critique of Trump's justification for the border wall's construction? The epitome of Trump's cartoonish villainy, he asked a humorous inquiry about Trump's beginnings, implying that he came out of a clogged drain at the Wonka factory. Oliver's Trump roasts are particularly powerful because of more than just his one-liners. He is also quite good at pointing out how ridiculous Trump's actions are using lengthy analogies. For example, he devoted several minutes to drawing parallels between Trump's laudation of Modi as the father of India and his own parenting approach, in which a father is someone who offers material assistance but does not offer emotional reinforcement. It was a hilarious and provocative assessment of Trump's character that left us in stitches.
Bill, am I going to check every statistic? I get millions and millions of people.
You got it. You're a presidential contender. You
I have millions of people. You know what? Fine. But this came out of radio shows and everything else.
To fall to his lowest point, and in that very moment still find a way to be kind of a dick to a homeless guy.
Throughout it all, Oliver strikes a mix between serious criticism and laughter, exposing the harmful and dangerous aspects of Trump's actions and ideas through humor. Oliver does a tightrope feat that is both delicate and skillful. Oliver's brilliant takedowns of Trump may make us laugh till we cry, but they also help us to better appreciate the stakes. Oliver's comedy is truly brilliant since it not only amuses, but also educates and motivates. As we reflect on some of Oliver's most biting observations on Trump, it's important to consider the greater influence that satire has on the direction of our political discourse. More than just a good joke, John Oliver's satire has a significant influence on the way we discuss and think about politics. His incisive wit and astute comparisons have a way of slicing through the clutter and highlighting the ridiculousness of Trump's actions and remarks. Who else could liken Trump's rambling, unintelligible remarks to an inebriated motorist who sideswiped a pickup truck carrying alphabet soup? It's the kind of striking vision that lingers in your consciousness long after the joke is told. Oliver, though, isn't simply playing for laughs. By making fun of Trump's statements, he is urging the public to consider and evaluate what they hear from politicians rather than accepting it at face value. He's making complicated subjects interesting and approachable, even for people who would otherwise find politics boring. Oliver is raising public awareness and igniting discussions about the issues that actually matter by drawing attention to Trump's faulty reasoning and dubious actions. It makes sense that his program has grown to be a trusted source of political commentary, particularly for younger, left-leaning viewers. Oliver's style of humor reduces barriers to entry and humanizes important subjects, making them more approachable. It's similar to a gateway drug for political activity. Oliver's dedication to facts and research is refreshing in a time where spin frequently takes precedence over the truth. Thus, despite Trump's dismissal of Oliver as just another unfunny comedian, his satire has a serious impact. Oliver is influencing politics one joke at a time by using comedy to highlight harsh realities and encourage thought, and that's no small effort in a world where there's rarely much to laugh about. It should come as no surprise that audiences have responded favorably to John Oliver's mocking of Donald Trump.
Sitting right outside of Trump Tower, and I remember my father pointing to him and saying, you know, that guy has $8 billion more than me, because he was in such extreme debt at that point, you know?
Sometimes you have to let them fight. It's like two kids in a lot. You got to let them fight, and then you pull them apart.
The f*** are you talking about? That is not true for Syria, and it's also not true for kids.
The anti-Trump crowd finds the British comedian's scathing remarks to be rather appealing. Fans raving about Oliver's pieces that are the ideal balance of comedy and learning can't get enough of his clever takedowns of the self-proclaimed very stable genius. He has a talent for dissecting complex topics into entertaining and educational segments that even your politically illiterate uncle could follow. One admirer exclaimed about how Oliver's parody of Trump's meandering speech pattern pattern was both brilliant and side-splittingly humorous. All of a sudden, the absurdity of Trump's word salads made sense. He was just babble. But Oliver's gags are more than just cheap laughs. He's providing insightful analysis in addition to the lighthearted stuff. Oliver's vivid and evocative depictions of Trump are a hit with viewers. Who else, after all, would have thought to refer to the Donald as a clown made of mummified foreskin and cotton candy? That's the kind of nugget of wisdom that lodges in your mind like chewing gum on your sneaks. It's not all just sly jabs either. Oliver is incredibly skilled at highlighting Trump's inconsistencies and hypocrisy in his remarks. Oliver was quick to remind us of a little thing called presidential assassinations, like when Trump complained that no politician in history has been treated worse or more unfairly. The history lesson wrapped in a horrible burn was adored by the fans. Oliver's show serves as a cathartic outlet for a lot of people to vent their anger with Trump. The best kind of schadenfreude is witnessing him verbally destroy the tangerine despot. It's an opportunity to have a sense of unity and realize that you're not the only one who is shocked and in shock. Oliver's comedy helped people deal with the daily barrage of nonsense from the Trump administration, according to one commenter who sums it up brilliantly. Oliver has a tremendous talent for finding the humorous in the chaotic, especially in a world where truth frequently seems weirder than fiction. Not only is he educating the anti-Trump crowd, but he's also providing them with much-needed humor during these trying times.